Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about buying a second-hand car. Now this will specifically be the ultimate guide, the absolutely ultimate guide to buying a second-hand car. If you're thinking about buying a used car, then this is the video for you. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm going to tell you a few steps that you should do so that you can be absolutely happy about your purchase. And yes, I'm actually filming this in the rain. That's what I do for you guys. So I really hope that you appreciate it because I'm getting pretty soaked right now. All right, so step number one is you want to decide on the car or the potential cars that you might be looking at. Now, basically, you want to figure out one specific car or a few different cars as options for what you will be looking at. So let's say, for instance, I was looking specifically for a Mazda 3, just like this, then I would only be searching for Mazda 3s because you might only want one specific car. But on the other hand, if you're looking for like a mid-sized sedan, you can maybe go with a Mazda 3. You can go with a Honda Civic, a Honda Accord, a Mazda 6. There are many different options. So you want to choose a specific car. Now, step number two is when you find a potential car, you want to inspect it. Now, for the first part of this step, you want to inspect the interior. I'm going to get inside the car right now, and you're going to look, basically just look around at the interior. Hopefully you're not going to find a donut bag, a donut wrapper, like I have right over there. That was from this morning. But you're going to look around. You want to make sure that everything works, number one, that everything is in good condition, number two, and number three, that it just looks like it has been taken care of. You don't want to buy a car where you're curious about how the owner took care of it. So I would go in here and I would just look at all of the actual seats, all of the compartments, and then I would go in the back over here just like that, and then I would go and check the trunk as well. So you're going to look at anything interior with the car, and you want to inspect it and make sure it is what you want it to be. And also I would recommend testing out all of the buttons. So if I was thinking about buying this car, which this is my car, so I'm not thinking about buying it, but I would start it up and I would test out every interior button. Now the second part of this inspection is you want to inspect the exterior of the car. Okay, so take a look right here. I would start off by looking at all of the panels, and I would look for any potential damage. And if there's damage to the car, usually it's okay if it's body damage, but you want to be aware of it. You don't want them to be trying to trick you. And one awesome tool that I want to show you for this specific video is this tool right over here. And I'll actually show you the box first. And they are most definitely a paid video sponsor for this video. So this is actually the CarSys DPM 816 digital paint thickness meter. And boy, do I wish I had this when I was looking for a used car. Okay, now you can also get this cool little carrying case. I like using it without it, and it comes with this little carrying case to sort of carry it around. Now check out how awesome this thing is. So first and foremost, if you take a look at the actual product, very simple. It has a gauge over here that can be used to measure the paint thickness, and then it's just 3 buttons. It's very simple. You turn it on just by holding that down, just like that, and then it can measure the thickness of the paint. Now all of the specifics about what to look for are actually included in the manual right there, but basically you want a very low variance of the paint. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Now you should try to use this when it's dry. So I'm actually just going to dry off the panel right here, okay? And we're going to take this, and what we're going to do is we're going to press it down against there. And as you can see right there, oops, sorry about that. I'll try and show you one more time, just like that. It's 0.1, okay? So you can hopefully see that 0.1. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to, pick another door panel right over here. And we'll do it this way now this time. I'm going to go ahead and measure it, just like, let's get it, hold on one second. Let's get it flat on there, nice and flat. I'm trying to do this with the opposite hand that I regularly use. 0.1. So that's good, there's no variance. Now, if you notice, let's say you look and you're like, oh wait, that rear quarter panel looks a little bit weird. It looks like it's been worked on, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure it's nice and dry, and you're gonna go and use it on the rear quarter. And as you can see, there it is, 0.1. We'll try one more time so you can see it reading. Sorry, 0.16, I'm sorry. It's because I'm not holding it steady. There you go, 0.1. So this can be used to actually inspect the used vehicle. If you suspect that there's somewhere where there might be some body damage, or there might have been some body damage, then definitely this will help you, because it's going to show you if there was body damage, they would have painted it, okay, very simple, and the paint would be much, much thicker than everywhere else. So with that being said, it is a super awesome tool for inspecting a used vehicle and buying a used vehicle, and not being surprised at, you know, the fact that, oh, I didn't know this vehicle was in an accident before. You can know the unknown with this tool. And once again, they're a paid video sponsor, so I truly appreciate that. And it's just, listen, it's just an awesome tool, very simply put. Now, the third thing that you're going to inspect is actually the engine. So for the engine, I mean, hopefully you know enough about an engine to inspect it at least a little bit. But what you want to look for is anything in here that looks abnormal. You want to start the car up and listen to the engine, and look for anything in here that's actually going to be abnormal. Anything leaking, anything smoking, anything that looks like it's moving. I mean, everything should pretty much be stationary. All of the moving parts are contained within the actual engine itself. So everything should be stationary. You shouldn't smell any weird smells, hear any weird sounds, or see anything that looks weird. So just inspect the engine. That is the next step. Now, for this part, I'm actually just gonna step into the car because I'm actually really getting soaked right now. And I'm gonna turn the camera around just like that. Let's make sure we're on my face. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna go over the rest inside of the car. As you can see, I am pretty soaked right now, so we're gonna go over the other steps. So that was the second major step, which is you wanna inspect the car, okay? Now, when you inspect the car, if it looks good, step number 3 is actually going to be to test drive the car. There we go, the camera's a little bit better now. You wanna test drive the car. So if you think that this car is good to go, take it for a test drive. And once again, you're gonna use your senses, okay? You want to look, you want to listen, okay, and you want to feel for anything weird. The car should pretty much feel good to go. It should sound good to go. No abnormal shaking, no abnormal sounds or anything like that. You want the car to be fairly good to go for the most part, okay? So that's step number 3. And if it actually feels good on the test drive, then you're going to move on to step number 4, which is to have a pro look at it. Okay, now listen, you might know a lot about cars, and I know a good amount about cars, obviously. I would hope that you would think so if you're watching this video, but I wouldn't even trust myself to fully inspect the used car before buying it, because you want a professional to look at it. So either bring it to a mechanic and give them their whatever it's going to cost you, their $80, $100 to look it over. If it's a good car and you're going to buy it and it's going to cost you several $1,000s, it might be worth it. Or have a friend that really knows about cars, like a professional mechanic or someone that works on cars often. Take a look at it, and you want them to diagnose it and tell you the truth about if it's a good car or bad car, or any potential problems. If there are problems with it, then you want to make sure that you know about the problems. It's not a problem if there is a problem. It is a problem, though, if there is a problem with the car and you don't know about that problem. So have a pro look at it. Step number 5 is going to be negotiate. Listen, every price is negotiable. Unless, of course, you're looking at like a super rare car, something extremely rare, and like there's like 50 buyers for this one car, then no, the price is probably going to go up. It's probably going to be a bidding war instead of a negotiation. But if you're looking at just a regular car and there's like many different options that you can choose from, negotiate the price. If they're asking for $5,000, say, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking more along the lines of $4,200, let's say. You want to really negotiate and try and get the most bang for your buck, because it gives you some room for error in that if you do buy the car and there is a problem, you're going to have that extra $800 or $1,000 that you negotiated with, and you can use that money to fix the car. And really, even if after you fix the car, you'll have only paid $5,000 for it. Okay, step number 6 is you want to get the vehicle history. Now, luckily for you, there are many different ways to do this, many different sites, many different options. So you want to get the full vehicle history. You want to see if it's been in any accidents, if it's a salvaged car. Like, you don't know these things, I mean, until you see the history. But also remember that the history isn't everything, because truth be told, someone could have gotten into an accident, just brought it to the body shop, had them repair it, and it's not going to be on the history report. That's why you have the actual paint thickness gauge, and you can use this to diagnose the actual truth about the car. Step number 7, this is super important, and actually many people forget about this, and it is to actually call your insurance and see what your price will be, because so many people go and buy a used car, they're so happy, they got a great deal, but their insurance is like $3,000 a year more than it was before, and then they're like, oh man, now I own this car, what am I supposed to do? Call your insurance, get a quote, see how long that quote is good for, and hopefully you're going to be able to actually use that quote when you actually buy the car, and you'll be happy with what you're paying in insurance. Okay, very simple and straightforward. Last but not least is step number 8, the final step. If everything is good with the car, if you're happy with the car, if you're confident that you know everything that there is to know about the car, then you want to pay for it and do the paperwork. Now, I always recommend whenever you're going to pay for a car, do it in a public place and bring a friend along. And tell the other person to bring a friend along too. Get the paperwork saying that you paid them for it. Get the paperwork saying that the car is going to be yours, and have witnesses sign it. Just because what you don't want to happen is all of a sudden, you paid for the car, and then they just like call and say like, oh no, they didn't pay for the car, they just took my car, right? And if you're paying with cash, which I don't recommend doing, by the way. If you're paying with cash, if it's a big amount, don't pay with cash. There are many other ways, but go to the bank and just transfer the money. That's why you have like a digital receipt of it, a banking receipt of it, and the witness will be the teller that's helping you. Like, do it in a very safe way, because nowadays, truth be told, you just never know. And that's it. That is honestly the ultimate guide to buying a used car. Now, here's the thing. If you're buying a used car, it is going to be a big purchase. Whether it is $1,000 used car, like my first used car that I bought, I think was $1,000 actually, 1,000 or 1,100. I can't exactly remember, but it's a big purchase. Or if it's like $120,000 used car, it's a big purchase, and you want to make the right choices. So with that being said, I really hope that I've helped you make the right choice with regards to buying a used car. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.